I've got a long trip to America and Mexico coming up, and I don't want to answer a single email for 2 whole weeks. Basically, I want to take a proper 2-week break, and I want to show you how you can do the same. So here I am closing down my email application, which is called Newton, and I'm not going to open it for 2 whole weeks. What I've done is set my business up in a way where emails and communications reach the team, work gets done, problems get solved, and sales get made while I'm away traveling. The reason I've set up my business like this is because there's nothing worse than going away on holiday somewhere beautiful with your family and friends and spending all of your time checking your emails. The challenge is that I've promised Olivia I will give this holiday 100% of my attention, and I won't spend any sunny afternoons locked away in our hotel room replying to customers. Most business owners get very stressed about going on holiday and taking a real break because they're worried about missing important emails. The work grinds to a halt because they're responsible for 100% of client delivery. I remember a few years back we went away on vacation and I had to continue running coaching calls, replying to customer requests, and generating sales and leads from our cabin. I was miserable because they were all having a great time and I was missing out on the fun, because if I didn't work, the business didn't make any money. What I had essentially created was the illusion of running a business, but in actual fact was a job. But it was a job that I couldn't even take a vacation from. Another time I remember properly unplugging and telling my clients that I was taking a break from work. I was bombarded with angry messages from clients telling me their website was broken. So even if you do manage to properly disconnect, you still need to make sure that the work gets done. And this is critical because what if it's something more severe or sudden than having to take a vacation? What if you get sick, or if you have to get called away to a family emergency? A business that doesn't run without you isn't a business, it's a job, but with less financial security. I wanted to make sure this didn't happen this time. Plus, I was going to be taking 4 weeks off in total, flying back and forth from the UK to America and Mexico, speaking at events and meeting up with friends. I wanted to make sure that I could be 100% present with Olivia, my friends, and my colleagues while the business still operated. I had 3 objectives: to make $4,000 through the business while I was away, come home to appointments booked in my calendar with qualified leads that I could sell to, have client work delivered and done, and have any problems solved without me being there. But there was one catch. I wasn't allowed to open my emails, communicate with clients, or check in with my team for the entire 2 weeks that I was away. A lot of what I'm going to show you is what I learned when I was diagnosed with cancer and my business continued to grow while I took 9 months off to recover. In fact, the business even grew during that period. The first thing I did was let my team and my clients know with plenty of warning that I would be taking time off during that period. I even told them the caveat that I wouldn't be checking emails, social media, or messages during that time. I was totally unplugging. What this did was set the tone. I even turned my phone off for the first week because I wanted to totally disconnect and commit to the stunning scenery in Montana. We also went to Yellowstone National Park, which was absolutely breathtaking. And the idea of fighting a client fire in the back of a car in the middle of nowhere seemed like a living hell. The idea is removing yourself from 3 core components of the business: sales and marketing, operations and delivery, admin and finance. And right now you might only be one person. If that's the case, if you truly want to take time off, you need to hire someone. There's absolutely nothing you can do to change that. There are 101 jobs that an admin specialist or a VA can do for you. Jar does our bookkeeping and client admin. Clarence, hi Clarence, does our video editing, and Kate does our client work and coaching. And the key to all this is the control freedom slider. Imagine you have a slider that controls how much work you do in the business. Over on the left-hand side, it's labeled control, and on the right-hand side, it's labeled freedom. I learned this from the team at Run Like Clockwork with Adrian Dorison and Mike McAllowitz. Most business owners have their slider set firmly over to control, but this means they are the furthest they could be from freedom. It's not a switch that is either on or off, it's a slider that you need to be in control of. The reality is the more you move the slider over to freedom, the further you move away over from control. The more control of sales, delivery, and admin you give to other people, the more freedom you will experience. This was how I was able to take off as much time as I needed and still come back to a business that was, if anything, in better shape than when I left it. If you're unwilling or unable to let go of control, you'll never have the freedom you need to take time off. And you need that freedom. You need to disconnect from emails and from clients. Even if you don't travel or take a vacation abroad, you still need to take a break to recharge and operate at your best level. If you don't make time for wellness, you'll be forced to make time for illness. I love this quote because it demonstrates that taking time off isn't just for you, it's actually a productivity and management tool. And what happened when I came back? I opened my email for the first time in 2 weeks and my inbox was flooded with emails, mainly spam and outreach emails. But the good ones were about sales, new leads, and new appointments being booked. I had leads asking me if I had spaces available in my program. We did have a client leave, but it was handled as well as I could have handled it, and it had nothing to do with me being away. They even admitted that they had no idea that I'd even gone abroad. Best of all, I got to have a proper vacation. We went hiking in Montana. We saw incredible scenery and wildlife in Yellowstone and relaxed in the sun and the warm sea of Cabo, Mexico. I didn't spend any time fixing client problems or dealing with work because my team had it in hand. And if you want to see how I generated leads and sales for my business while I was 5,000 miles away, then you should check out this video where I'll give a real life example of the sales process that I used, plus how I offhanded a big chunk of the sales process that I thought only I could do.